Hello, everybody. Welcome to week one of helping history teachers become writing teachers. I am your host, Dr. Scott Petrie. I only say that because I'm making the student loan payments. And today we're going to talk about SRSD instruction. Now, this week we're talking about some of the barriers to increasing the amount of writing that we ask students to do in our classes. Invariably, I hear a lot of excuses when I talk to other teachers in other schools, in other departments, and during professional developments. In my district, we have a high number of English language learners. In my class, I have a lot of special ed and resource kids. I have 20% students with disabilities. And as a result, many teachers believe these students can't be taught the steps to write, so they don't bother assigning any writing. Well, I'm here to tell you that SRSD is a strategy that can help. Now, SRSD was, actually I should report out that I'm getting most of my information from this research practice alert, which there's a link to at the bottom of the blog page. But SRSD was developed by Dr. Steve Graham and Dr. Catherine Harris, who were at Vanderbilt. Now they're at Arizona State University. And they have tried this, tested this for about 30 years. It has been validated in over 40 studies, integrating self-regulated strategy development into high school, junior high school, history, social science, writing instruction is not taught in many teacher credentialing programs, nor is it offered in many professional development seminars. But it has been long used in elementary schools and middle schools to help students with LDs, learning disabilities. Now, I'm happy to report it's being used with English language learners in some high schools and with students that have writing deficits. So like I said, more than 40 studies have validated it as an instructional model. For teaching students with writing deficits, it was developed by Harris and Graham in 1992. And what this model does is it integrates writing instruction, self-regulation strategies, and the development of positive student attitudes towards writing. So, one of the ways it does this is using mnemonics. Mnemonics. I think I'm saying that correctly. All SRSD writing strategies contain mnemonics for learning strategy steps. For instance, the narrative or storytelling strategy uses POW. Each letter represents a step: pick my idea, organize my notes, write. SRSD considers writing a problem-solving task requiring planning, knowledge, and skills. Planning includes pre-writing, drafting, and revising the essay. So in the next slide, I'm going to talk about the 6 steps in SRSD, and I'll elaborate a little bit more on them. But I want to remind you that down at the bottom of the blog page, there is a document that clearly explains everything. It's quite a lengthy document. It's about 19-20 pages. This video is just to kind of summarize it for you. So, step 1 in SRSD is to develop background knowledge in your students. How do you increase their background knowledge? You can do this with videos and lectures and notes, but you clearly explain the purpose of the writing and you define with the students what skills are needed to achieve this writing goal. Step 2, you discuss it. You discuss the role of the student effort in learning this strategy. The students set goals, they self-monitor, they identify reasonable, measurable, and attainable goals, and in some cases, the students agree in writing to these goals. Step 3, we're going to model it. Teachers complete an essay, teachers complete the writing assignment and show the students what it's like. The students are taught how to count all of the components of the essay, to determine whether or not all of the aspects of the prompt have been answered in the essay. I show them how to deconstruct a prompt. I do a do-what chart with them so that at the end they can check off every single thing that they have done. Step 4, we're going to memorize it. These students practice the steps of the strategy. They memorize the mnemonic device. They use it to reinforce their fluency. Teachers provide students with cue cards and common think sheets and planning sheets and graphic organizers that remind them of each step along the way that's involved in writing. Step 5, support it. Teachers provide scaffolding and continuous feedback, all the while the students are practicing their writing. Teachers may work collaboratively with the students following all the steps, and as students begin to master the essay writing process, these scaffolds are removed, and when we do that, we get to step 6, our independent performance. This is where students learn how to write independently without the use of the graphic organizers. They use fewer self-statements because now they've internalized the strategies. So, next we're going to talk about self-regulation strategies, self-regulation methods. Self-regulation refers to self-initiated thoughts, feelings, and actions that writers use to meet their literary goals. When writers use self-regulation, they control their environment and their behavior, including the time they spend writing and organizing their ideas. Self-regulating writers develop goal-setting strategies, task-analyzing objectives, and self-reinforcement. Additional self-regulation techniques include self-monitoring, self-instruction, self-reinforcement, metacognition, and self-assessment. Further techniques are embedded in each of the 6 stages of SRSD writing. And I know this is nice and big on your screen. You can scroll through and read through these. You can pause the video and read through these. And what I like to do is just jot down notes. If I know I'm going to be teaching a Civil War unit, which one of these self-regulatory techniques am I going to use? And then let me go back and figure out which one of the mnemonic devices am I going to use. So next up, we're talking about creating positive attitudes towards writing. This is always difficult, particularly with high school students, but environments that are supportive and pleasant develop students' passion for writing. These also increase the odds that they will apply their SRSD strategies. A few ways to create an inspiring classroom include 1, establishing an exciting mood during the writing time, 2, encouraging students to take risks when writing, 3, developing writing assignments that reflect student interests, maybe allowing them to modify a topic or something, allowing them a little additional choice in a topic, which is number 4, allowing students to select their own writing topics or modify the assigned topics, and 5, having students arrange their own writing space, move their desks away from each other, light a candle, burn some incense, I don't know, whatever makes them comfortable. And then lastly, encouraging students to help each other with the steps along the way goes a long way to making sure that they finish the writing assignment. So, next up, I just want to call your attention to some additional resources. There are a handful of videos at the bottom of the blog. There's an outstanding tutorial on SRSD that is at the peabody.vanderbilt.edu site, and that talks about the IRIS Center for Training Enhancements. It's very detailed, very good resource. Please check it out. But most importantly, I do want you to click on this writing assignment. This is one of the articles we're going to look at, and it's a nice article by Santangelo, Harris, and Graham, and we will be discussing that. We will be using that for we'll be discussing it on the discussion boards. We'll be setting it up for your weekly quiz. I implore you to read it carefully, enjoy it, and have a good week. Thank you for listening, and welcome again to the course.